Today's video is an update on Kodal Minerals. It's a stock that we've been covering on the channel for about 8 odd months now. It's a stock that is really got the future in mind. It's all to do with the lithium play that attracted me to this stock initially, but there's many different things within the mining company that we're going to talk about today, especially the gold. The last time we covered the stock was about 3 months ago, so there's a lot to get through, guys. I hope you can keep up with me. Yeah, coincidence. Yeah, coincidence. Yeah, coincidence. Something that happens by chance, I think not. What's the crack, everyone? Welcome back to Buy Wholesale. I hope, of course, you're all well. Today's video is the first video that I've done with my new desk. I've got a standing desk, guys. It's unreal. I push a button, we go up. I gotta push a button, we go down. Look at this. Isn't this quality? So I'm still trying to get used to sort of standing doing these videos, but hopefully it's going to improve the quality of the video and blah, 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 blah. Say no more about it, guys. It's small things in life that make me happy. Today's video is Kodal Minerals. We've got a lot to get through, as this is going to be a bit of an exciting week, because on the 28th, which is 2 days from today, we will have the shareholder meeting. But before we get into that, let's have a look at some of the more recent news. So we're going to strip this right back to June 30th. You can see our CEO, Bernard Allaward, was all around Malia, all around the Ivory Coast, sitting down, discussing. You can see talking about the Bogani projects, talking about all the gold mining projects that are currently there and future projects. And we will put up some of these articles in a moment, but we can see a lot of busy activity going on, a lot of projects there that he's talking and discussing. And it's good to see him out and about, and this stuff is real. This is actually happening, and I like to see updates like this. So let's pull up some of the articles then, guys. First one is the 29th of July, nearly almost 2 months ago. You can see an update in the gold assets. Again, this is the stock that we cover on the channel, mostly for the lithium play down the road, but because of the whole other mining stuff, minerals and materials that they also mine, especially with gold being what gold is, everyone knows about it. It's obviously got a high value. That is another reason why we're invested in Kodal Minerals. So we'll do a bit of an update here, guys. The company is focused on the Bogani lithium project and its gold assets in West Africa. The highlights: RC drilling returned wide intersections of gold mineralization and includes zones of high-grade gold mineralization, including, and you can see here some really great high-grade results coming in from the gold. And you can see what Bernard saying, he's saying these wide high-grade drills from our first drilling campaign at the Nile are very encouraging. We have been able to confirm and extend the zone of gold mineralization discovered by our former joint venture partner. And in addition, we have been able to identify new zones of gold mineralization that highlight the prospectivity of the new region. The Nile concession was completely unexplored prior to the exploration completed by Kodal and our former partners, and this new discovery is a result of good exploration work. We are awaiting the final results from the reconnaissance, air core drilling, and will undertake a detailed review of the drilling to plan the next phase of reduced circulation drilling that we would like to undertake as soon as access to the rig availability allows us. Go back to the Twitter page and you can see, the Share Talk News are starting to talk about that. We see Proactive picked up. Kodal Minerals says license applications for the Bogani lithium project in the final stage of approval. He just went on then to say that our mining license application for the Bogani lithium project is now in the final stages of approval. The new mining license decree has been drafted and verified by the Malian Ministry of Mines and forwarded to the Secretary General's office, says Chief Executive Officer Bernard. It's an early stage, however, the results received so far have given encouragement to the possible resource potential here. Further exploration drilling has been undertaken later this year with the objective of delivering a maiden mineral resource estimate. And that's really one of the big stages that we've got. Anyone who has me on Instagram will have seen that I actually screenshotted that and posted that for you to keep up update. Although I might not do videos, guys, I still try to keep up to date on any kind of groundbreaking things I would share on my Instagram stories. And if we put up this RNS from the 26th of August, this is very detailed final results. He really just goes on to talk about the fact that they've expanded on the gold projects, talks about the fundraising, successful fundraising of being able to raise more money. And then our key thing is about the Bogani lithium project. Not disregarding the importance of the gold for the balance sheet and for the company, but it's the lithium play is why we're invested in Kodal Minerals. So I'm really just focusing on the lithium. And this is really good here. They've kind of done a table of the countries that they're in, the projects that they're in. I've got some nice catalysts, some milestones down here, good long 3-year periods. It just shows that the company's in good standing, in my opinion. And even at a high level, we can just talk about that. The company clearly has plenty in the pipeline. We'll see the share price at the end and how it's been performing. Plenty of grants, plenty of hype around it, in my opinion, for a relatively sort of unknown, not well covered stock. I believe that we will see a lot more. The story hasn't really changed since the first time we covered the financials. You know, it's a growth company stock, not making great money. It's relying on a lot on funding and all these things. So again, it's one of our higher risk stocks that we covered on the channel, and we know the situation with this. I have a small proportion of my money delegated to Kodal Minerals. I am prepared to buy dips if and when they come, but the stock has been performing very well. And that kind of brings us up to date with the Kodal Mineral Twitter page. That brings us right up and to talk about the shareholder meeting here, and we'll just talk about that now. It's going to be on the 28th of September at 11 a.m. in London, so it will be covered on that day. Whether I get the video out that day, I don't know, but I will come back to you regarding Kodal Minerals. I just wanted to try and do a very high level recap to bring us all back up to speed. We'll do a bit more due diligence and a bit more detailed review of this here. I will be checking in on the Q&A sessions as I have done with the likes of Aokeo Blockchain last week. And I would advise anyone that is interested in Kodal to go on and do your due diligence, check out the previous videos, get yourself up to speed. I have really just summarized the 3 months, but there is a lot more to it than that, and you need to get a real deep dive into the gold section. I would be lying to say if I have completely done my proper due diligence into that. I haven't. Again, it's about the lithium, and that is really where my eyes are focused on, because to me, that is going to be more valuable than gold down the road. One of the articles that I want to bring up to your attention in September the 16th is simply Wall Street. I use this quite a lot just to get my sort of high level due diligence done before I would do my own, and I recommend anyone that's new to stocks or trading, or if you're thinking about companies, sign up to Simply Wall Street. You get a free account and you can do a couple of comparisons on different stocks. We think Kodal Minerals can afford to drive business growth. We can readily understand why investors are attracted to unprofitable companies. By the way, Kodal Minerals has seen the share price rise 404% over the last year. Delighted many shareholders having that. Unprofitable companies are risky because they could potentially burn through all their cash and become distressed. Like I said, it's high risk. There's nothing new to me here about this. How long is Kodal Minerals cash runaway? Cash runaway is defined by the length of time it would take a company to run out of the money if it's kept spending at its current rate of cash burn. In March 2021, Kodal Minerals had 2.4 million in cash and was debt free. In the last year's cash burn was 1.1 million. So it had a cash runaway of 2.2 years from March 2021. That's decent given the company has a couple of years to develop its business. And again, it's just important to reiterate that we did talk about that in previous videos. This is the reason why we're in there. It's high risk. God, I have to really stress that it is high risk, but out of all the high risk unprofitable companies, I think that sums it up again. This isn't the worst one out there, and for that tapping into that potential, to me, it's worth that risk every day and twice on Sunday. Just goes on here to say that it could raise more funds through creating more shares, market capitalization of 60 million, and burned through 1.1 million last year, which is 1.9 of the company's market value. So it could easily borrow and do things to raise more cash, issuing more shares. And that again is a risk, but it's a risk that I would be, as a shareholder, more than happy to take. I would want them, if they need the money and it's being used wisely, I had no problem with them doing that for mining applications or whatever it may be. You want that in your growth stocks, so I'm okay with that, and it's good to know that they have that option if deemed necessary. So I thought that was quite a nice little sort of high level summary, only done a couple of weeks ago. And if we have a look at back sort of when we started investing in the stock, I sort of been around, we'll even just go from the 1st of February for talk's sake. We have seen, as reported there, highs of 440%. So we have backed a winner, let's just say. But currently, even if you had bought sort of in and around when I bought, you'd still be at around 330%. Now, I'm not going to lie, as you know on this channel, we've covered it in my other videos, I have been stripping profits, buying dips. And then at the start of the month, guys, when we fell underneath the 9-day moving average, I waited and I topped up on the 15th in and around this date. Once we got the candlestick, once they got confirmation, I bought, and I haven't sold on the sell sign here. We've got catalysts, the stock has done well, and I'm riding it. So if you're looking at this, guys, and you can see that the price, buy signals came in on the last day chart, and I wouldn't be surprised now if we do see perhaps Kodal going up. So we can kind of draw this line here. You can see we've been in a bit of a channel. We're well above all the averages, and it's not surprising considering the rise that the stock has had as we've seen there. So it's going to obviously take time for those averages to sort of get used to this new price. And if we just see that line there, so that's on the month, guys, you can see it's tip, tip, tip. And it's tipped here as well, and it really has, if you go even back as far as August, it has struggled to get above that, but we are finding ourselves with the MACD, good volume, above all the averages, buy signals coming in. Depending on how the next couple of days go, if this was to break and we could get a nice close above this, I would see no reason why we couldn't push on to this, or even back up to the previous highs of 0.5, as high as that, and I would be looking to see what kind of action comes in. It's a good trading opportunity for any swing traders out there. Again, with this type of stock, you're going to get high swings. I do think it is best to try and strip profits. Don't get me wrong, holding this for the long term could most certainly pay off dividends. But I do think swinging in and out of this isn't the worst option in the world. It's a long hold. You do have big catalysts and high volatility with the swings, so protect yourselves at all time. As always, we'll cover the video again at the end of the week after the shareholders meeting. I just want to give a shout out again to James. Love your channel, great for newbies like myself who bought me 3 coffees. So thank you very much, James. You're an absolute gentleman for that. Really appreciate that. Anybody else that would like to support the channel, help it grow. I'm not trying to do Discords or anything yet. Trying my best to service everybody. If you don't have any money and can't help me out, you know, you can like, subscribe, share the channel. That really helps. But if you do feel a bit generous or maybe have a few pennies, feel free to buy me a coffee. That really does go a long way, and I really do appreciate that, and I'll give you a bit of a shout out. Tomorrow I'll be back covering American battery technology, so stay tuned for that, guys. Another mining sort of battery recycling project that we're dealing with. And that's everything, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah. Coincidence. Yeah. Coincidence. Yeah. Coincidence. Something that happens by chance, I think not.